Hello, everyone. How are you? Nice to be with all of you. I'm really late. Wait, I gotta figure out which way. I want you to see the orange flower. So a lot of you know that my youngest child has a neurological disorder, and she had been okay with seizures. Like, they were very under control. We never had any serious seizure until last year. And unfortunately, she's right there, so I want to be careful what I say about her. She had a horrible seizure that caused her to stop breathing so long that she turned blue. I wasn't there. It happened at school. And so since that's happened, it's just been, figuring out which meds to give her, what's not working, what's working. One of the things that we deal with on the special needs journey. So that was the delay. And I apologize. There's not anything I can do about that. I have no way. I had no idea that was going to happen, obviously. Just letting, trusting that we're going to find a neurologist who can help her. Oh, jeez, you guys. Okay, let's talk about the new moon in Virgo. So I want to just point out, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury, at the time of the new moon, he's at the degree where he is in shadow. So, just to explain that, so Mercury is at 10 degrees of Virgo, and he is going to move forward to 25 degrees of Virgo on the 27th of September. Then he is going to begin moving back, and he will come back to that 10 degree mark of Virgo, and then he'll continue to move forward, and he'll clear the 25th degree of Virgo November 3rd. That's when he's completely finished with his shadow. So in other words, this new moon that he is ruling, these energies are going to keep going with us through the Mercury retrograde and the shadow. And of course, other things are going to be going on right along with them. But I just want to, really make sure that you understand that this can be unfolding all the way up to November 3rd. So for the new moon in Virgo, that will be Central Standard Time. That's 7:51 p.m. on the 6th of September. For London, it's the 7th at 1:51 a.m. And for Sydney, it's also the 7th at 10:51 a.m. So that's the number 6. So, 6th Virgo is traditionally the 6th house. We associate that with the Hermit card, the sign of Virgo. And in the tarot, 6 is choice, which is Gemini. When we make a choice, we have a choice, we're given a choice. And somewhere in your chart, wherever the house of Virgo falls for you. And, Mercury also rules Gemini as well. He is in Libra. So we have the Venus influence, Venus in Libra. And in the energy, we're moving into, now Saturn is going to keep moving back until the 11th of October. He's going to begin moving forward. So he's still going to be retrograde, but that Saturn-Uranus square energy, those are big guys. And that'll be going on all through the year. The last square that they have is December 24th. So we have a lot happening, and that's kind of like Saturn square Uranus. It's kind of like shifting sands. It's like things that traditionally we've counted on as secure are not so secure, finding out that, we need to explore new ways of dealing with things. Even Metatron is mentioning new coping mechanisms, because Virgo has a lot to do with habits as well. And, our daily practice, daily rituals. And that hermit energy, you know, he's carrying the light. He has the light. We're all carrying the light. You know, sometimes we are the only light that we can see around us. And the hermit, no matter what is happening outside of him, he's not necessarily completely alone, but he's unfazed by what is going on around him. So, yeah, that sounds good, right? So I just want to read the Omega symbol is in it. Now this is going to be 11 degrees of Libra because Mercury is at 10 degrees and some minutes. In a Tibetan monastery, hundreds of candles burning. It's about global transformation and contemplation. In the darkest of passages through life, there is kept burning the light of helping influences, if we can only maintain our contact with them. So that is, of course, I mean, I think of that, of course, as what's in the ethers, the angels, the people in our soul family also who are helpful lights and partners. I'm sorry, I know the camera is moving a lot. It's very windy and there's like black clouds gathering too. Honestly, I already made the video. I'm making it again. So we're just gonna hope that everything holds out. You know, always, whenever, sometimes people are like, I can't hear the angels, I don't feel it. That's always us. It's always us. It's not, it takes a lot of practice and really allowance, which really only comes over time to hear the audible voices. But their influence is always able to be felt. And he's saying, you are always heard. You know, they always hear our pleas. And they're always there, giving support and instruction if asked for, advice if asked for, if wanted, but always there. You are always aware somewhere in your being that where you put your attention is the key to moving beyond the illusion of physical reality. You sense that where you place your focus is what can ultimately change everything. So Mercury is sitting at 10 degrees of Libra, which is an air sign. Ceres, who is about nurturing and the mother energy, also like how we're raised, like as a young child. And Gemini is about the younger child too. That is she's at 10 of Gemini, and then Saturn is sitting at the time of the new moon. I believe he's about 9 degrees, but even if he's 7, which I'm not really sure, they're still in that harmonious trine. So important what we are feeding our minds right now, what we are telling ourselves. What is, he's saying, the song that we're singing, the spring in our step, Mercury and Libra, you know, and how, and then also Gemini being with dance, really so important, and really the only emotional rescue right now. You know, if we start going into the fear, the pain of, you know, what the global struggle that we're having right now, getting involved in some kind of drama fiasco with that is really going to drag us down. But, you know, really holding the vision, sensing, he's saying that our future is secure, trusting and believing in our capacity to create our own reality. We can't do it unless we believe it's possible. And it's really like the last video, you know, chaos or harmony. What are you going to choose to look at? Where are we going to put our focus? I had that nice little anecdotal story that's been floating around social media. I put it on the group page, you know, the perspective of an elderly man, and someone saying to him, oh, this must have been really hard for you during the quarantine. and then him explaining, no, because I focus in other areas. So, and really coming into that place of calm centeredness with the inner child and allowing the inner child to have some play. Otherwise, with everything that's going on and just a lot of people feeling pressure, is what he's talking about. Blowing off some steam, he's saying. That kind of reminds me of that sextile that we have with Neptune and Pluto right now. So I wonder what that's about. But, listening to that still small voice within us as well. So, because Sirius is involved with that as well. And just any time that we're in Virgo season, always a great time to do a cleanse, stay away from toxic, and anything that for you is toxic or there's been too much of a good thing kind of thing. Moderation, kind of helping the inner child develop new habits and recognizing that she can have fun and play and express herself in other ways. So last time we talked about Mercury and Venus, or I think it was actually Mars and Venus, were at the center of Virgo, and they were trine Uranus harmoniously. This new moon is taking place so both the moon and the sun are at 14 degrees and change, where Mars and Venus were in the center of Virgo. So that's in a harmonious connection then, reaching out to Uranus at 14 degrees of Taurus. So this is going to be something of ingenuity, something new. So even if you're finishing up something that you started, coming up with a new way to do it, new ways to express ourselves, he's saying, new ways to make ourselves feel important, to understand that we're important, that we matter, and that is in a harmonious. So those are making a connection then over to Vega, who in the center of Capricorn, and that's also where the asteroid named Newt for the goddess Newt is at the center of Capricorn. And so it really is like the Sabian symbol, how he described it. It was about subordination. It's not, I don't really like saying that, but let's say like yielding to aligning ourselves with the desires of our soul, because the desires of our heart are the desires of our soul. Our soul wants us to be happy. Aligning with that and aligning with the Earth's divine timing and our own divine timing, and really looking to others for help right now, and just trusting, that there's going to be help along the way to bring whatever your dream is into fruition. This is happening in the second decan of Virgo, which is Saturn's decan. And so this is going to be something that might take a while to build. We want to make sure that there is a firm foundation, and really partners that aren't aligned, like we're aligned, or are, not matching our vibration, it's just not going to cut it. So I wouldn't be surprised if like new people come on board for whatever, like business venture or move or whatever expansion he's saying that you have in mind. Just kind of like waiting for, putting it out there that you're open to new partnerships, people that enjoy harmonious cooperation, that are ready to grow and to work with you in whatever it is that you're planning on doing, wherever it is that you want to channel this energy. This is about Virgo building the magic. The Pisces Virgo axis is like bringing heaven to earth. Hope, love, charity, and also Virgo has to do with service. But service, a lot of times people, not consciously, this is like a collective subconscious story, that service is like you're the servant, or you're paying the price for something. There has to be some suffering. So a lot of times we can become responsible for people out of a sense of having to give more, out of balance kind of thing, than we're receiving back. Because Mercury is ruling this new moon in Libra, it's going to need to be a harmonious balance, harmonious cooperation in partners, and, you know, just being practical, having that sense of, you know, he's saying like letting go of the idea that there is one person who is our ideal partner, and being open to the truth that many people can fall into that disguise. Like there can be more than one person. I don't know why he's bringing that up, but also just being in gratitude right now is a huge thing. He's talking about moving mountains, like that, just being in a place of gratitude and admiring and enjoying life, admiring nature. That's a form of worship. You know, that the magic of the earth, like everything that's happening around us is unfolding every minute. That nothing has gone wrong, that there's nothing to feel guilty for. You know, Virgo is where we learn to swap guilt for grace, you know, and realizing that having grace really for ourselves, maybe where we had set the bar, we didn't make it quite that far. Let's, you know, getting rid of the bar. Virgo has a lot to do with responsibility, and of course, this being the decan of Saturn, where we can be really hard on ourselves. Really realizing that no one outside of you, not the angels, not the creator, not your soul, you know, they aren't making any demands on you. Just being happy and satisfied with yourself as they are satisfied and happy with us, because Virgo can be pretty picky, nitpicky. Not just Virgo suns. Everybody has Virgo somewhere. Everyone has Mercury and everyone has Virgo. And Nut, that I talked about, the Egyptian goddess Nut, she was described as like a ladder to the heavens. So it's kind of like that bridge energy, the Metatron energy. She was about bringing, like, it was like the harmonious integration of chaos and order, and how that plays out in the cosmos, and when one is called for, and when there's a lack of, he's saying, momentum or movement, stirring things up, getting that going, and that this is the time really to play. Make sure that play, in whatever form that is for you, is part of the daily ritual. That's also part of worship and appreciation and gratitude, is just allowing ourselves to be in that place of joy without having an agenda, a task that we need to fulfill, and that the urge to create is innate within each of us, and that we each are blessed with our own, he's saying, potent gifts, unique gifts, and we all are, he's saying, filled with treasure that has become buried, recognizing that, you know, this is the time to unearth the treasure within and bring that out into the world. He also was talking about the fact that a lot of people during this period are going to recognize that their vision is a lot bigger, has grown, he's saying. Like as we grow, you know, the vision grows. And that like nothing is too big. It's always one foot in front of the other. And really, in the Saturn decan of Virgo, it is going to be a slow build, one foot in front of the other. So having patience and just being in that place of peace and allowing things to unfold as they will. And then, sorry, I'm trying to remember because I have made the video before. He was talking about the power of the mind and how important it is, like where we put our focus, and that our emotions are in check. Like You know, aligning the heart and the mind, just not getting like thrown off course or blown off course, and going into that spiral. I feel like I talked about that in the last video, but holding the vision and trusting the process, he's saying, was very helpful in this energy. So he wanted me to read this as far as like the vision and what's coming in the future, because he did say that a lot of you would be surprised by how big your new story is. So it says, what wild, unconventional voice is calling to you? Can you hear it? It is so different and so unusual, it might be hard to decipher, like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity now, but there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. The oracle says there is stirring at the deepest level within you. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. The shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation, but you must bear the strangeness first. That strangeness might be something that rattles your beliefs about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creator. This oracle brings you guidance that you are about to encounter something new and different in your life. This is helpful. Don't reject it, no matter how small or insignificant, or how powerful and life-changing it may seem to be. You are being asked to dispense with your reliance on the past and what you have been. And what have been your tools to navigate life. You have outgrown your old methods. You will have to fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak, as you experiment with new ways to be. Life and the universe will show you the way. So that is Alana Fairchild from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. Wow, that's that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? So yeah, big stuff coming, man. So anyway, you guys, I apologize again that this is so late. I'd like to say it's not going to happen again, but I don't know. The next video will be the equinox and the full moon that we have coming in Pisces. So anyway, everybody, I'm sending all of you so much love. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I appreciate all of the emails and the comments that you guys leave for me. So nice of you. I really appreciate hearing from you. So anyway, everybody, take care. Sending love. Bye-bye.